Okay, we're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. It is Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, minutes and reports received and filed.
Yes, we received the December 2024 fees for the recorder's office, the county clerk's office, and the sheriff's office. We also got the treasurer's December 2024 reconciliation report and the auditor's December 2024 revenue and expenditure report.
Can you repeat that?
No.
Thank you. Commissioner Committee Liaison Reports, upcoming meetings and events.
I got Solid Waste Management District Advisory Board grant scoring meeting this afternoon, Home Builders Association meeting tonight, and then we've got the regular board meeting for the Solid Waste Management District Board tomorrow. Friday morning, got a Government Relations and Transportation joint meeting at the Chamber. I think that's about it, till Tuesday.
Tomorrow morning is a city public works meeting. I have on the
On the
calendar.
agenda, I think, but I haven't seen or it's on the calendar, but I haven't seen the agenda, so
Okay.
I'll check that area.
And then the Eastern District mentioned Chamber Government Relations and Transportation on Friday, and Monday is statewide official swearing-in day.
Yes. Okay, I just got notice a few minutes ago that Thursday is the homeless task force meeting, but I have a conflict, so I will not be able to make that. It's not much notice. Saturday, I've got Sons of the American Revolution meeting. Sunday, I get to go to Westphalia Historical Society. Yeah, then the parade, I think, is 1:30 or something like that Monday, and then the ball. So we can all put our tuxes on and go. Okay. Announcements of other, that's it, we did that. Commission comments?
Just a quick comment. I have to address this to Public Works because I hear when people are unhappy, but I heard where people were pleased over the weekend and subsequent to that. The Nine Hills Road, person called me and said it was a fantastic job your people did. And then on Hampstead Gate, good job. So your people should know that.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Tell them not to read the good, bad, ugly pages.
We tell them to stay off of that.
Actually, it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
They have to go on a state route to get there.
I wanted to tell
Put
them,
it
it was in
down.
alphabetical order, so they just, when they're looking for a house to buy it on the A-lettered roads. I didn't know if that would go over well.
Yes, good
And I'm on
job.
W, so.
Yeah,
Good job.
thank you.
Okay, bids and contracts. New business. Accounts payable review.
We do not have any this week yet, till we approve this budget.
Okay, so then we will have public hearing for the county budget for 2025, and we will open it up if anybody would like to speak. No one? Then we will close the public hearing. Then we will move to adopting and approval of the county budget for 2025.
Well, here is the budget in total with the department head's request, the auditor's budget, and then the commission's approved budget, and with any changes that were made from the auditor to the commission. So that's here. Here's the letter that you have, and so if I could get you to approve, the court order has each fund and the total revenue and expense and each fund balances. So
I'll make a motion to execute the court order for the Cole County budget for year 2025. Do we have to note all of those things that you just mentioned?
You don't have to. I mean,
Okay.
it'd be for public record here, but
It-
just
it,
approve the budget.
It has more whereases and furthers
Yeah.
than a proclamation for somebody like Bill Farr. Right? So I'll make a motion to adopt this court order and adopt the budget.
I'll second.
Okay,
I was just gonna say that we went through the whole budget thing. I thought it went real good this year. We didn't all agree on every part of it, but we hammered things out. I think there's only a few things I didn't like adding new employees, and we added 4 of them this year. So, but, you know, that got approved basically 2-1 on that part. I wasn't crazy about what we're spending on the youth center, but otherwise I thought it went pretty well, and nobody came out of it with a black eye that I know of, so. That's all I wanted to add to it.
We're still looking for a second.
Oh, I seconded it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I seconded it, and
Oh,
I
then
went
you
right into
commented.
discussion.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I didn't want
All
to
right.
give Sam a chance to
Okay.
call for the vote before I got to say my.
okay, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
And the only other thing I'll add, thanks to Mark to getting all this together and doing all the changes. And so, ready to start a new year. I do have,
And thanks to all the department heads for
yep,
their input and cooperation, so, yep.
I do have pay forms and the letter, and Mark will turn the budget back on probably today, if not tomorrow. So you'll see that in BS&A. So our first budget run will still be on the 17th. So we'll keep that schedule going. And these pay forms need to be back to me by the 17th, so we can get this year started. So that's all I needed to say.
okay. That is it on our budget then. Signing of account application for life assist for EMS.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We met with a vendor of disposable medical supplies who was able to offer us some significant discounts over the vendors that we're currently utilizing. The vendor is on a cooperative contract, which we have a copy of. Jill's reviewed and purchasing is reviewed. In order to be able to buy from the vendor, they are requesting that we open a line of credit. So just would like the approval to open that line of credit, and we will just pay out of our medical budget supplies on a month-to-month basis. So just looking for permission to do that.
An application to save money.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to sign the account application for life assist for EMS.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Okay. Approval and signing of MOU with the Recorder of Deeds.
This is an annual MOU with the Recorder of Deeds to pay for, out of that fund, out of her fund for the part-time that she has employed, and it's in the budget for next year, so.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve and sign the MOU with the Recorder of Deeds.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Approval and signing of MOU with the Sheriff Revolving Fund.
And the sheriff also has for a full-time employee for the CCW and an MOU that he will pay that out of the revolving fund.
Okay. Make a motion to approve and sign the MOU with the Sheriff's Revolving Fund.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, unfinished business. Discussion approval of carpet for the court reporter's office.
This is the carpet for the new court reporter's office, which is the old treasurer's office. A few weeks back, it was on the agenda, and we approved it as a do not exceed amount of $2,235. Greg's been working with Scruggs and the courts, and he got a new quote that the total is $2,555. So we're just needing approval of the new amount today.
Give me the amount again.
$2,555.
So who's doing the base trim then?
What's that?
Who's going to do the base trim?
There's already trim up there, they're just gonna tuck it underneath.
Okay. I just saw that it said no base or coat
Yeah.
included, so wanted to make sure that,
There's wood trim up there already, so they're just gonna tuck it underneath.
very good. Okay.
I'll make a motion to execute the agreement with Scruggs Lumber for the carpeting in the, what was formerly the treasurer's office and is now the court reporter's office. Is that right?
Yes.
Court reporter's office.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Well, we've breezed through that. Do we have any other unfinished business?
I'm gonna go back to the budget. When we're talking about the salaries, we've got the 2.2% and the 500 included in there for the, because you were talking about the pay forms.
Yes.
But the other monies that were requested still have to go through HR. And so when they're filling out their pay forms, that's not automatically included.
Right,
It has to come through and be approved later on, right?
right.
So everybody knows that.
Yeah, and there are evaluation forms also in the folder packet. We encourage people to fill out the evaluation forms on their current employees, even though it is a straight COLA with the 2.2 plus the 500.
I'm looking at our HR director now. My memory is that the health department and the nurses will they be the first ones for you to come up with numbers or?
Actually, Christie provided a lot of information. I was able to vet it and confirm it. I couldn't find anything going through Department of Labor, Bureau of Labor Statistics, Indeed, or any other local postings to dispute the numbers that she's providing.
I think she's
They're
back
all
on
falling in
the,
range.
yeah, she's back on the agenda for
Next week.
January 14th, yes.
Okay, so that makes sense.
But her numbers have been confirmed already.
Yes.
So any additional requests that we made that weren't part of the 2.2%, $500, will need to go through Sheila and then come back in front of the commission again?
Yes, we might use the health department as an example with the nurses' salaries as, that one's the first one in the queue, so that's a good one to use as an example. Furnish the HR with some backup data
Some comparisons.
and so that she can run the traps for what she needs to do, and then it comes to us, and then we go up and down on it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And, there's no need to delay on this thing. I just assumed that nurses might be in first place in terms of order because they actually came to us last July or August, right? And we said, wait till the budget. Okay.
And so what she did was she submitted the information and then reconfirmed it, and then I reconfirmed it as well as being current still.
And there might be similar things with Public Works, right?
Yes,
Mary?
in Public Works, I've been working with them. We're in the same position basically as the Health Department with just one or two exceptions. Greg's given me data. I'm still working on trying to confirm that because I've run into some roadblocks.
And this year, the collector's office, perhaps the recorder's office,
Clerk,
who am I missing?
Maybe the
clerk.
assessor's office.
The assessors
Yes.
was presented in July, and all he asked was that it be considered. I mean, it was kind of an open-ended ask, no specifics, no additional data.
I also asked, but I also gave her the information as well as redid all the evaluations of the employees at that time too. So,
We're in pretty good shape for the additional asks in most departments.
So we need to turn in these pay forms as they are now and then come back maybe a week or two later and then go through the process with Sheila, is that correct? Or do
Unless we can get it done by the 17th. I mean, if we're in a position to get it done by next week when they are due,
I think we could.
then we're okay.
Okay.
Well, I guess for me, this is the first time I'm hearing I need to give other information than the employee evaluations. So I need to go out and contact other collectors' offices and see what they pay their employees? Is that what I'm being told?
Well, we've discussed it in 2 budget years, unfortunately.
Larry, I think on yours, you were talking about additional duties as well.
Yes?
So that's part of it. If there's job description changes or job duty changes, I think is one.
Which we've
If
discussed.
we're gonna do it comparable to other elected office positions and stuff, I don't know if we can get a blanket comparison and get it all from the comparable counties that we wanna compare to. Which ones are we gonna use, which ones are we gonna not use? Do we have, and if we got any kind of idea? I know you've gotten it from a lot of other counties that we're not gonna be competing against necessarily.
Cape Girardeau is our most similar in demographics, job descriptions and stuff, so I always try to get theirs. Boone, just because we lose so many of our staff to considering Boone County positions. Callaway, I usually don't get a lot from them, but anything surrounding that we can get is a big help. And so if you get information from the other counties, if you tell me who you spoke with, who you got the information from, then it's a lot easier to vet it. I don't have to
And
go
we'll
back
get it
and
from
do
all the ones that
work.
make more than our people do. We won't use Miller and those stuff.
We can use them.
Well, I'm saying if we're gonna compare,
Well, then,
Also, when you compare that, a couple counties I spoke with, they won't release their highest number because those employees have been there for longevity and they won't release their top salaries.
it's public record.
It's public
But they won't give it to you on the phone, and I did not research.
They
but,
don't just
Say
say
the
that.
variation varies.
but even in
I'm
HR,
usually pretty lucky in getting it. If you make the attempt, tell me who you talked to, then I can circle back around.
Okay. I got them.
but we're trying to be very careful in HR that even similar positions across the county, people don't want to think their positions are similar across the county. But when you're talking about deputies and clerks within different offices, they are similar. As far as EMS, they're a standalone kind of group. There's nobody here to compare to. But if we're just looking at one department as HR, she's going to be looking at other departments that are similar type of jobs. Okay, so it's not just horning in on particular departments, if I'm correct. In certain,
I would agree, I 100% agree with that, and I know there was a prior commissioner that said a clerk is a clerk is a clerk, and I disagree wholeheartedly with that. But we've got our elected officials up here fighting for their employees,
right.
and rightfully so. They all have their challenges, a lot of times, different times of the year that you're really busy, so other times it's a little slower, but I think let's get all the pertinent information. We've done this a few times, so I don't know if you got any questions, just ask Sheila what else you need.
And it was pointed out, after we adopt the budget, I normally read this letter to our elected officials and department heads, so I will read that now, which actually addresses some of this. The commission has finalized the 2025 budget. This is the financial plan for Cole County for 2025. All projections for both revenue and expenses were made using generally accepted forecasting methods. At best, growth will be modest with an increase in sales tax revenue. The final revenue and expense numbers for 2024 show a change in both revenues and expenses, which influences our budget decisions for 2025. The budget for 2025 reflects a sound operating plan for the County of Cole and sound financial planning for our future. The commission continues to believe that a fair and competitive compensation benefit plan is critical to retaining the employees of Cole County. The county commission also considers it important to continue covering the majority of the employee health insurance premiums for employees and half the dependent cost, and are continuing to fund the 4% contribution for the county retirement program for 2025 year. The commission will also be approving a 2.2% COLA plus a flat $500 for most of the positions. Also approved a new pay grid for EMS employees as of January 5th, 2025, and a one-step for most EMS employees in July 7, 2025. The county commission has also budgeted a line in some funds for a salary reserve for the HR department to reevaluate and recommend to the commission any changes that need to be made. The commission are recommending employee evaluations should be performed on all county employees. The commission would also like to ask each elected official and department head to be conservative with spending and to look for potential ways to increase efficiencies and cost savings opportunities. Cole County government must be conscientious in preserving our good financial standing while also providing the necessary services to our residents. This budget achieves both goals for 2025 and ensures that we can continue with these goals for the future. So, any other discussion? Any other unfinished business?
I think we should call upon our emergency management just to give us a capsulized report of what happened since probably last Friday when we started getting ready.
We kind of had our pre-planning with all the emergency services in the county the day before to kind of set up in case we would have to open the EOC, Emergency Operations Center. So everyone was pretty well on board with the duties that they would have. Very luckily, we didn't have to use a lot of that. We had a little problem one morning, the first morning with power outage in Apache Flats. We had a nursing home with no power and patients with oxygen needs. But very fortunately, again, the Three Rivers Electric was there, got the transformer replaced, and we didn't have to take a generator out. Biggest problem with that, they wasn't set up for a generator to start with, so. But all the generators running and operable. So really, we kind of skated by. It was busy on a little bit of end as EMS, Public Works, and Sheriff and all can attest to. A lot of calls, emergency calls came through, but it was handled pretty well internally. So we skated this one pretty well. But we were ready and go to open up the EOC if needed. That was about it. Kept in touch with the state a lot with their emergency operations center too. Went very well. Thankfully, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll give just a quick rundown of kind of what we dealt with over the past several days. So our crew came in at 5 p.m. on Saturday and immediately started pre-treating, kind of try to catch it a little early. Luckily, we didn't have as much freezing rain. It was more sleet, which you can push the sleet off. Freezing rain, it is very hard to treat. And they operated throughout the night into the next day until 5 p.m. And the bulk of, the sleet and all that was all through the day Saturday. Not a whole lot of problems. Sunday night was the worst. That's when a lot of the snow started coming. And that's when we had our night crew, our small crew. Matt and myself were there in the office. Matt stayed all night. I stayed till about 11 or so, and we had 5 trucks out. And a few trucks stuck, but not too bad, all things considered. I got through that. The crew came in, the regular crew came in at 4 a.m. on Monday and immediately started plowing and treating the best they can. And things were still a little snow covered Monday, but into yesterday and today, things are getting a lot better. We had 3 employees that had never been in a plow before until this storm. One immediately started in a tandem. He had a CDL when he came to us. The other 2 have gotten their CDL since, and by the end of the storm, they were by themselves. So that all went very well. I think, all things considered, this wasn't too bad of an event compared to some we've had. We dealt with a few emergency situations like we normally do, but the biggest help with this one, it was happened on a weekend, and people really listened and they stayed home. We didn't have a whole lot of traffic out there, which definitely helped. So this one coming tomorrow night into Friday might be a little different, but just wait and see.
The text messages started flying, I guess Saturday, but then they got real hot and heavy Sunday. Are we open or not? And we keep trying to circle around and see what schools are doing, what the state's doing, what other employers might be doing, and made the call, I guess, Sunday afternoon, evening, right?
Yeah.
And then you circulated it, Debbie, to the presiding judge, Green, contacted us and said the courthouse would follow our lead on what we did at the commission in the county, and they did.
And I was going by your recommendation, so, you're the pro, so, but I think we made a good decision.
The time that everything happened, Sunday night and through early morning Monday, was the big factor there. Just the fact that we had so much ice and sleet on top, or underneath, and then the snow on top was gonna make it pretty challenging that morning. If you had a four-wheel drive truck like I do, I didn't feel like I had any trouble going anywhere, and even in the four-wheel drive F550s that we have, it's not too hard to get around. Hills and whatnot, that's a whole nother deal, and so it was probably the right decision to make at the time that you had to make it.
Yeah, a lot of that information I was sending you, so I was in contact with state EOC, see what others are doing. I was just trying to keep you guys up, what the city was doing and everything. Not saying what our decision was, but just to let you know what others are doing.
Be right
Well,
back at it
we
tomorrow night.
dodged it, and it's supposed to just be a dusting Thursday night, and that's what's scary when they,
You never know.
Yeah.
You gotta be prepared. We did have a lot of trucks break down.
Did you?
We had a lot, yes, and little things mostly, but we got a good crew. They got them back on the road as soon as possible. Didn't really have any breakdowns in service. A few, maybe a little slow to get back out if something was down. We had one truck down Saturday night into Sunday for about 6 hours. And then one's, I think, still down, but we can move some things around. We got one backup, one spare. We can float out there too, so.
Good job.
good job.
I just get a kick out of people that run into the grocery stores and clearing the shelves. I can make sure you get your toilet paper too. You're gonna be locked up for a day or two. I don't know how you're gonna survive.
Makes you wonder how much toilet paper they use.
I don't know.
It's always exciting, that's for sure. Those are the most exciting times in our office, for sure.
Well, deer season was still open. Gave you something to do, so I had to throw something in there about deer season.
Well, thank you, Eric, and thank your people too.
Yeah, we'll definitely
Yeah,
pass it on.
they did a great job. All the people the essential personnel,
Okay,
even you, Sheriff.
Thank you, sir.
anything else? I would entertain a motion to go into closed session.
Pursuant to Section 610.021 of the revised statutes of Missouri, the commission will go into closed session to discuss the following: existing or proposed security systems under Section 610.021 subsection 20, personnel issues under Section 610.021 subsection 13.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Sam,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes.
Should be 3 of us tonight.
Which,
Stop sign.